Welcome back to Live Fit Live. This is Zach. I just made a video about community, and I was thinking I should follow it up with a video about communication. And the reason why I'm doing this is because communication is very important to me. I talk about communication a lot with friends, family, and especially out on the fire line. I probably talk about communication every day, at least once or twice a day when I'm out on the fire line. The reason why is because communication brings clarity, communication brings education, communication builds trust, potentially, if it's good communication filled with honest information. Communication goes a long way, and it makes you a valuable asset in your community, at work, and in life in general. I'm a talker. I have no problem talking. I am pretty confident with my voice and when I speak. I don't get shy when I'm speaking in public. I don't get nervous or anxiety, and that's just through years of practice and refining my skills and trusting myself and being confident with myself. I was blessed with a wonderful father who is really good at talking in public and giving speeches my entire life. I've seen this man stand up and sing beautifully and talk with and share great stories in front of 10, 20, hundreds of people. I swear, at every wedding I've been to, my dad has given an amazing speech, and I always enjoyed his speeches. And growing up, I wanted to be as good at talking and communicating as my dad. He's got a great voice. He doesn't stutter. He doesn't waste words. He's very good with his words. Um, I've seen that man sing and bring tears to people's eyes, and it's a beautiful thing. It's the power of the voice. I think our voices are very, very powerful, and you can see that when somebody sings a beautiful song, when somebody is speaking poetry or speaking from the heart with passion. There's people out there that can talk so passionately that you'll cry, and that's awesome. That's powerful, and that is power that I have. That's power that you have, and so that's why I'm talking about communication. Our voices, our words, are powerful, and I think sometimes people lose sight of that or aren't aware of that. Our words can hurt people, our words can help people. We can educate people and help them move forward in a good way, or we can spread information and lie, be a compulsive liar. I'm sure we've all met a compulsive liar. What kind of communication is that? I, Anytime I've met a compulsive liar or somebody is into gaslighting or manipulating people, somebody with a silver tongue, forked silver tongue. I'm sure you've met them too. It's like, what are these people doing? They're using their words for not good, in my opinion. They're not using their words in a way that benefits everybody. For me, I want my words to help everybody, or as many people as possible, or people that are willing to listen. I'm willing to talk and try to help you out. It's I've had a bumpy road, a roller coaster of a life, and I've learned a lot. I've done a lot of reflection, a lot of self improvement, self awareness, accountability, responsibility for every decision I've made in life. I think that's another important thing we got to do. I think it's important we look in the mirror and, when things aren't going well, you got to look in the mirror. It's like, well, did my decisions cause these issues in my life, or are these just outside forces and my car was going to break down no matter what? There's nothing I could have said or really done to keep my starter from going out. Um, but if I lose a job, if I lose a friend, if I ruffle some feathers, rub somebody the wrong way, it could have been because I said some words I shouldn't have said. maybe the words I used were not great or beneficial in any way. It's kind of that saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's there's some truth to that. I think there's people out there that are malicious. They use their words to hurt people, and that's sad. I think that's weird. I don't really like malicious people. I don't like people that are intentionally going out of their way to hurt others. It's strange to me, and um, that's just not the kind of stuff I'm trying to do, and those are not the people I vibe with. I like people that use their words wisely, and they know the impact of their words. Um, this is my first video about communication. I'm sure it won't be my last because I could talk about communication for hours. I could talk about it a lot. For example, communication, what is it? Typically, there's one person talking, there's one person listening, or there's one person talking, there's a lot of people listening. if it's going well, then everybody's listening to you. Sometimes people are not listening to you, they're not engaged. So communication, it's not only the person talking, it's also the person listening. There's a word I learned in college called active listening, and I think that's an important word to understand. Active listening is eye contact. It is focused. You're actually listening. You're in tune. You're not up here in your brain thinking about other things. You're not just looking and nodding your head. You're actually looking and engaged and actually listening. Listening is a huge part to communication. I think it's something we can all do better. Again, that self improvement thing, I'm always trying to improve my listening skills and my communication habits. Years ago, 10, 15 years ago, I would be listening to somebody talk and I would cut them off mid sentence before they could even finish their sentence. And that would rub some people the wrong way. My friends pointed that out and it pissed them off. And I had to acknowledge that. I had to listen to what my friends were saying. I was like, oh, shoot, he's right. Yeah, yeah. I'm like Bert Kreischer, like butting in and just interrupting the conversation. And now the conversation is all on this side. And what that person was trying to say, communicate, is gone because now that thought is probably gone. The conversation is going to go in a different direction. So something I've been working on is letting people finish their sentences, letting people stop talking completely, wait for a pause, and then I will say my thought or my opinion or speak afterwards. That's a respect thing, that's mutual respect. That's not interrupting. You don't want to be a person who's constantly interrupting. And something I picked up on is I'm Ukrainian American, and my family, we are a family full of people that interrupt each other. I grew up in a household where people are talking, having conversations, and somebody will cut somebody off. And I didn't really realize that until later in life. And I was hanging out with family and I was watching it happen. And it's like, oh my God, I spent my whole life watching people interrupt each other, not finish sentences. It wasn't the greatest communication style to have. And I mean, it didn't happen all the time, but people get excited and you see it happening with family members. And it's not just that. I mean, I see friends do it all the time. I watch podcasts. I watch interviews where it's happening all the time. I mean, politicians do it to each other all the time. They're constantly cutting each other off and interrupting each other. To me, that's rude. It's disrespectful. It is a bad form of communication. So something to think about moving forward with your life, with my life, is to maybe try and be a better communicator, be a better listener. Think about the words you're saying before you say them. Think about how your words are going to impact others. Uh, are my words going to be received well, or are they going to be received negatively, positively or negatively? So, some people don't care. They don't care if they hurt your feelings. They don't care if they are rubbing people the wrong way. They don't care if they're right or wrong. They just have their voice and they're going to use it. So I will say this, you have a voice, you have your words, use them wisely and see what happens. I think people will respect you more. I think you will see people listening better. And I think people are going to want to engage in conversations with you if you think about your communication style and your communication skills and how you are using them in real life. This is Zach with Live Pivot Live. Have a good day.